Hi, my lovelies. It's your girl, Loc'd and Letters, coming at you today with a quick brow tutorial. If you are new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Always like and comment because I absolutely love to hear from you. And if you did not know, I am in this for the love of all things beauty and beautiful. So as I said, I am getting into a quick brow tutorial. Brows are literally like the frame of everything. If your brows are not right, then your whole like look is just jacked up. Sometimes, everything is on point, but your brows are too heavy. Sometimes everything is on point, but your brows don't match. Eyebrows should be sisters, as close to twins as we can make them. However, typically they're not identical twins. So if your brows are not identical twins, it is absolutely okay. But I did want to come and kind of share with you what I do or how I get into my brows before I set off any other part of my makeup. So I actually do brows before I do anything else. I do brows before I do foundation, before I do concealer, before I do eyeshadow, like the whole 9 yards. I like literally start with brows. So brows are literally the first thing that I do. I'm going to go ahead and get into this. I actually did my skincare routine. So I've got serums and lotions and so on. I'm trying to get into this skincare thing. Again, you guys know that I was not into skincare, but I am getting old and in fear of the fact that like my skin is going to crack and fall off at some point in time. So I have tried to step up my skincare routine. I still don't use a lot of cleansers. I do have the Butterskin cleanser and I use it on occasion, but I usually stick with some coconut oil or micellar water to remove my makeup. And then I do a really good wash with water only. And then again, I follow up with my vitamin C serum. I've been trying this Lancome serum and also some moisturizer. So that's really it in terms of skincare and the updates to my skincare routine. But again, still try to stay away from harsh cleansers or cleansers or soap of any kind on my face. Anywho, so I've already done my moisturizing. I am actually gonna be going out, so I'm gonna get into my sunscreen with my Black Girl sunscreen. FYI, this is going to be almost a full face of Black owned beauty, and I'm not doing a whole full face. I'm doing kind of a summer, like just some concealer. So we're gonna go brows, lashes, concealer, and some lips. That's it. I'm not doing whole foundation and contouring and yada yada yada. Ain't nobody got time for all of that. It's hot outside, y'all. Okay, it's not really hot, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, let's get into this Black Girl sunscreen. All right, so I actually do have to do a little bit of maintenance to my brows. So I actually clean up my brows. I don't get my eyebrows waxed because I am utterly allergic, or my face is allergic to wax, especially hot wax. Every time in the past I have gotten my eyebrows hot waxed or waxed at all, I literally have broken out. Like my eyebrows, my face turns red. Like I literally am a red strip up here, and it's red and itchy for a couple of days. So I don't know, I've gone to a couple of different places to get my eyebrows waxed, and reputable places as well, and I still have the same kind of experience. So I'm thinking that I'm just a little bit allergic to, or my face just doesn't like the hot wax. So I don't wax my eyebrows anymore. I actually do shave my eyebrows, and I follow up by cutting them. So I typically use, and let me see if I can find it in here. I use my handy dandy eyebrow razor. I got it from Sephora, and they have a couple of different styles of razor, but I usually clean up, and I actually did a cleanup last night of my brows. So right along my brow bone and in the general shape of how I want my brows to look is how I usually clean up. The next step in the cleanup, and again, like I said, I did shave my brows last night. The next step in the cleanup is actually to cut my brows. And I'm hoping that you guys can see this. So I brush my brows up and literally just cut those rogue hairs. So I take my cuticle scissors, this is crazy, and I follow along, again, my brow bone, and I just cut those rogue long hairs. Like, I don't do a lot of cutting. It's not like, you know, I'm cutting lots and lots and lots, but I do a good cut. So I usually do this, of course, in my bathroom. So I usually have two hands. I don't usually hold my mirror, but anywho. So again, brushing those brows up. I do frown when I do this so that I know exactly where my brow bone is. And I just follow along with the scissors and cut. Okay, and I do the same thing on the other side. The only difference on the other side, and it's kind of weird, is that I have to cut with my other hand. So it gets a little precarious. Because I am not left-handed. And again, just cutting the very tops, trimming, I guess is a better word for it, so that I don't have those really long eyebrow hairs. All right, so now that we are sufficiently groomed, I'm actually going to go ahead and start in on my brows. And I actually use a couple of different things. Number one, I use a brow pencil. And today we are going to be using, I typically go back and forth. I like a very sharp pointed brow pencil. So I will usually use the KVD Vegan, well, sometimes use, actually more often now. I used to use all the time the KVD Vegan Beauty, the signature brow pencil. However, at some points in time, they, I think, started to discontinue it. I'm not really sure. And so I found TLB, the Lip Bar Vegan Beauty. I found their Exact Arch brow pencil, and I have fallen in love. It is in the shade of black brown. In the shade of black brown, it actually is the perfect color. It actually is very fine point. So I actually ordered, I think the last time I ordered like 3 of these just so I could have them, right? So I don't run out. I don't like running out of stuff. But anyway, so I actually do typically take a little bit of my Beauty Bakerie flour setting powder, and this is in the shade Plantain. Plantain. It's a plantain. I am a plantain girl. Some people are plantains. Don't understand. Whatever. It's a plantain. It's the caramel shade. And then I take my Beauty Bakerie blending egg, and I just take a little bit of the setting powder and run it along my brow, just so that my my pencil doesn't, so that the oil from my moisturizer and from my sunscreen doesn't make my, make my pencil bleed, basically. All right. And as you can see, my face is very radiant. I'm still kind of radiant here because I got a whole lot of moisturizer on. But anyway, now that I've gotten my brows set a little bit, I'm going to go in with, again, my Exact Arch. And the Exact Arch also has a spoolie on the other end, so you could use your spoolie. I've got a spoolie that I use all the time, so I just always run and pick that up. But anyhow, you can use your spoolie. I have a magnifying mirror because I am old. And so I'm going to go ahead and look into my magnifying mirror. And what I do first is I actually outline my brow. So I'm going to line from the inner corner of my eye, and I'm going to line straight up to the highest point that I want. And then from that highest point, I'm going to arch down. I am then going to fill in, and I'm going to fill in the top part, and I'm going to fill in the bottom line of my brow. But the first line that you're going to make on your brow is going to be the most important. And again, that is going to be a line. It's not going to make very much sense. You're probably going to be like, what the heck is she doing? But I am going to line straight up from my inner corner. And I'm going to take this straight up to the apex, or where I want my brow to apex. And then from that apex, I'm going to bring this down to create the arch. So, and that is going to be the tail end. So it's like, right? And of course, it looks crazy, right? It looks crazy from the get-go. However, I'm then going to fill. I'm going to start filling, and I'm just taking strokes with my pencil and doing a little bit of filling in, and then I'm going to go and fill in the top of my brow so that my arch doesn't stop there, right? So I'm going to connect this top, and you can see it coming together now, right? Whoop. Now it looks like a brow. Now I don't look crazy, or I look a little less crazy. Okay. And then in order to make this a nice rounded brow so that you don't end up with looking like a comma, because you do not want to look like a comma, you then go from the midpoint and then connect this bottom to create that bottom arch. And then you just fill. And that's your first brow, right? Not too hard, not too much. Sometimes you gotta go in and even things out a little bit so you don't end up with a dip or what looks like a dip. Okay. But so far, so good. Now the trick is going to be doing the same thing on the left-hand side, right? Because it's easy to do it on the right-hand side. Trick is, let's do this on the left-hand side. I'm going to roll my pencil up a little bit further. I'm going to take my spoolie and again brush my brows up. And again, I'm going to go from the inner corner, and Unfortunately, boobs get in the way. It'd be nice if I was, it would be nice if I was flat chested. No, it would not. I used to be flat chested. I don't know how I'm not flat chested anymore. That's a whole nother Instagram, not Instagram. That's a whole nother video. Anywho, so let's go ahead and get into this other brow. And I'm going to try and stabilize myself, right? And then I'm going to go ahead and, again, take a straight line. From my inner corner up to that apex. And then I am going to bring this down. And again, looking a little bit crazy. Again, right? I'm going to go ahead and start filling this in. So I'm going to actually fill in. Ooh, and I'm trying to stay in frame, right? So I'm sorry if I'm not in frame, but I'm going to fill this in. And I'm filling in, again, you'll see I'm just doing little hair, trying to create a hair-like stroke. But I'm filling in the top now and connecting. And then I'm again going to go from this midpoint and I'm going to connect along the brow line, the brow bone. And then again, fill it in. And I think I have a little bit heavier brow on the left side than I do on the right side, which is what I usually end up doing. My left brow ends up being a little bit thicker than my right brow, but that's because I just go in and go crazy. But I'm going to clean that up a little bit, and I'm not going to clean that up by trying to make my right brow thicker. That never works out. What I am going to do is, now that I've gotten my brows on and shaped, and actually they're relatively close. Again, they look like they might have been related at some point in time. My left brow does come down. My right brow comes down a little bit lower. So I'm going to actually pull this a little bit deeper. Okay, so the next step in this brow process is to conceal your brows. So you want to use concealer and or a brush. So I'm first going to use my brush, and I use a flat concealer brush. This one is a really old flat concealer brush that I got from Bare Essentials. You can see that it's really old because the Bare Essentials has been worn off. But I'm going to take this flat concealer brush and I'm just going to go here over the top of my brow and just clean it up a little bit, right? And there's nothing on this brush. It is an empty brush, but I'm just going to take off a little bit of that width on my brow. I'm also taking off a little bit of that stark apex, right? The next part is concealing your brow. So I'm going to go in and conceal my brows, and I'm going to use my TLB concealer. It is the Quick Conceal in the shade Cinnamon. Sometimes when I'm doing a full beat with full concealer and full foundation and all of that other stuff, I will use a lighter concealer to conceal my eyes. My brows, I use the shade Warm Sand in the Too Faced concealer. But because we're doing a relatively natural summer face, I'm actually going to go ahead and conceal using my Caffeine concealer that is in the shade Cinnamon. So I'm going to take an angled concealer or an angled brush, and this is an angled brush that I got from Target like many moons ago. It is a Sonia Kashuk number 10 angled brush. I also have an angled brush that I got from Colored Rain. The Colored Rain brushes are awesome, so definitely recommend them. I think I used my angled brush from Colored Rain for a black for an eyeliner look, and so I haven't washed it yet. Case for anyway. I'm going to take my angled brush and I'm going to angle it this way. So I'm going to go ahead and get concealer. I hope you can see this. I'm just going to get some concealer on the very tip of my angled brush. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to just follow that arch line. And I'm going to I usually try and get it in one clean motion. Sometimes that does not work, however. I try to do one clean motion so that I have a nice crisp line. I pull that concealer down. And then I go in with a concealer brush and just pat that out. And the brow, friends, is crisp, y'all. She is crisp. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Again, angled brush, Caffeine concealer. Get some concealer on my brush. Let's do this. Let's do this, folks. And again, it's so challenging to start this. Boom. She is not perfect because, again, I am not left-handed. And so the left side is always more challenging than the right side. And she's a little, my line a little wonky, y'all. I looked like I was a little nervous. Okay. I look like I was a little nervous on this side. So it's not as crisp and clean, but we're still going to go in and just pat that out. Blend that down. All right, so now I've got my brows done. And when your brows are on point, the rest of the face just tends to come together. Boom. So my brows look kind of like sisters. They look like they might be related. They look like they might be related. I'm going to go ahead and just do a quick concealer. I think I'm going to do a wing and some lashes, and then I am done. Be right back. All right, so here you have it. I did admittedly add a little bit of blush to my look, but I just did a quick wing. I say quick wing. A quick wing. Added some lashes and my lips, and just wanted to make sure I didn't have any lipstick on my teeth. I did end up using the lip bar TLB Vegan Beauty. They're fabulous. The best red on the market is Boss Lady. The Boss Lady best red on the market. So again, I don't have on any contour. I don't have on any bronzer. I have on a little bit of blush, and I actually did use the TLB blush in the Bling Bling from the Minute Finish face palette. That was the only thing that I actually did use from the face palette was the blush. So I threw on a little bit of blush and a lip, and honey, I am ready to run some errands. So until next time, my lovelies, that's how you get your brows on point. I was not saying on fleek, but that's like, so like 2018, 17, 2016, something like that. But anyway, that's how you get your brows right. Again, if your brows are right, the rest of the face tends to come together. I don't have on, like I said, I don't have on anything else. I've got on some conceal. I've got my brows, some conceal on my brows, some liner, and I am ready to go. So until next time, my lovelies, I will catch you guys on the flip side. Bye.